Walk up into the club like, what up? I've got dyed leather armor with armor trim on it in Minecraft Snapshot 22w05a. Lads, laddies, gentlemen, you know how it goes. It's Wednesday, which means we've got another big snapshot. In this week's snapshot, we'll see even more changes to armor trim, a brand new creative world stream that I haven't even seen yet, and a lot of really cool bug fixes. Today we're gonna jump right into the snapshot, but hold up. Let him cook. That swim animation. Oh my gosh, that swim animation is beautiful. With an animation so beautiful, I almost don't even feel bad about what's about to happen to this villager. Wow, what a way to start things. To follow up our amazing change that kicks it all off, a secret to change. That's right, you heard me right. Enchantment Glint has been changed again in a Minecraft Snapshot 23w05a. But just like last week, it might be a little bit difficult to see in the diamond armor, so we'll check it out on a netherite pickaxe. So from the looks of things, to me, it kind of looks like the enchantment glint effect has been made a little bit more obvious again. I think that's pretty cool. So there's absolutely no way you haven't heard about this by now, but last week's snapshot, it was all about this brand new armor trim mechanic. The snapshot that we'll be checking out today actually introduces quite a few changes to armor trim, and from the looks of them, I think they're all generally pretty good changes. For this one, you're gonna have to dig deep into your memory, like all the way back to actually last week, in fact. We're looking at the Dune armor trim, or in other words, the armor trim that you find inside of the desert temple. It looks different, doesn't it? If it doesn't, you're wrong. It absolutely has been changed. In this week's snapshot, the Dune armor trim, specifically the chest plate, the shape on it has been moved up. This moves it up in my ranking. I like this a lot. Now, as far as other changes to armor trim items go, I don't think there were any. The only armor trim that has an aesthetic change is going to be that Dune one. But speaking of armor trim, one of my favorite ones is the eye one. I absolutely love the eye one. It looks so good. Check that out. Do you see that? Do you see that? This snapshot is game changing. Okay, I calmed down a little bit, but this really exciting stuff. A big parity change in this week's snapshot is actually a bug fix. For the longest time, hot swapping armor, or in other words, having armor in your hand and just using it and swapping it just like that, it actually wasn't possible. It was being blocked out of the game by a bug. Now it absolutely is possible. Oh, it's so cool. The next stop on our map today is going to be over at our local stronghold. And that's because we have a change to strongholds inside of this snapshot. If you caught the Everything series episode that I did an armor trim, then you already know that inside of these altar chests, if you're lucky, you have the chance to find one of those eye armor trim pieces. If you didn't catch it yet, that's cool. You'll catch it right after this video. The big change in this week's snapshot actually doesn't have to do with any of those other chests though. It has to do specifically with the library loot chest. Every single time now, inside of the library loot chests, you will find an eye armor trim. That's going to mean every single stronghold that you have, as long as it has a library, is going to have at least one of these things. That change is going to do a nice job at making that eye armor trim, in my opinion, one of the best ones, a whole lot more common. Now, speaking about armor trim and its rarity in general, in that Everything series episode from last week, we talked about how you could find every single armor trim in the game and the odds of finding it. The odds have all been changed in this week's snapshot. For the most part, the odds of finding these things are going to be a lot more common now. And actually, when you do find some of these things, like I did right there, every single time when you find these 4 different armor trims, the Desert Temple one, the Shipwreck one, the Jungle Temple one, and the Outpost one, you're going to find not 1, but actually 2. Now, according to the changelog, this is to really show players how these armor trims actually work. Because, of course, when you find one of these things, you're going to take it back to your base and actually use it. And then you're going to find out that that trim just completely disappeared on you. It might be a pretty sad moment. Little spoiler for a video that I just cooked up yesterday. I went on a big hunt looking for armor trim in one of my worlds. You'll see it like tomorrow or something. And I am livid, so angry with King V-Dogs and Kojo and every other dev right now. I should have waited. I'm painful. When it comes to armor trim changes, that's not all though. We haven't even touched on the biggest one, but this one too. Woodland mansions have very few chests to utilize loot tables. In unlucky generations, none at all. That means the Vex armor trim has gotten way more common in this snapshot. Thinking about the armor trims, if you can remember which one the Vex one is, this is another breathtakingly amazing change. The Vex one is that one right there with the eyebrows, and just wow, look at how good it looks. Every single color of it It's like absolutely amazing. Being able to find this thing a little bit more commonly, I don't think a single soul complains. Armor Trims, the sequel. That could basically be the name of this snapshot. Back over at World Spawn to check out what I'm going to call the second biggest change in this week's snapshot. Look at this. You can actually now officially put the same material on the same armor. And when you do that, according to King B-Dogs, the coloration is a little bit different, so it'll actually stand out. Now, if you can remember, in last week's snapshot, this was only possible on netherite armor by creating diamond armor with a netherite trim and then upgrading. In this snapshot, you can skip that step now. You can have netherite armor and then go ahead and trim it with a little bit more netherite. For a quick look at the chest plates with the matching trim, as you can see, it's like pretty obvious here. It stands out quite a bit. It looks good. For a little bit more context on that one, pause right here. A small thread from the Bean King himself, all about armor trim that matches. So it's pretty great. Personally, I think diamond on diamond looks really, really good. That's some like chef's kiss stuff right there. Now, finally, for armor trim today. Wait, what's that? Oh, a cliffhanger. Aw, dang. Back over on the main menu with Peter Griffin, Snapshot 23w05a introduces a brand new Create World screen. I haven't seen it quite yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What do we think of this? That's different. That's a really different screen. So first reaction here, looking at the changelog, we have a couple different options here. We have game, we have world, and we have more.
Oh, that's interesting.
So this is almost a parody change, but also like not parody at the same time because Bedrock's looks completely different. But Bedrock got this whole like new screen, and I don't know what I think about this. I don't know. Like, I like the idea of cleaning it up a little bit. Oh, no. I mean, it matches everything. I don't... What do you guys think? What do you think about the new screen? Two brand new accessibility menu changes in this week's snapshot. They have to do with the enchantment glint stuff. Enchantment glint speed right here. You can go ahead and slow it down or speed it up if you want it to, like, cycle through a little bit faster. And then glint strength. If you're sick of seeing it, you can just turn it off. So we'll go ahead and show this one off. That's normal. This is with the enchantment glint. This is with default settings. In accessibility settings, if I go ahead and speed this all the way up and just leave glint strength alone, we get this. Kind of reminds me of the old one. If we slow it all the way down to 1%, it almost looks like nothing is there. Oh, that's crazy. In this snapshot, when you're granting yourself an effect, you don't have to use a number anymore. You could actually use letters. You could grant yourself an effect for an infinite amount of time. When you do that, inside of the inventory, the symbol will be sideways 8. I wonder what that means. All right. The big boy, the whopper, the big armor trim change of the day. Leather armor. This is beautiful. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. I was going to say it's not, but yeah, in a way, leather armor is beautiful. Depending on the colors that you add to leather armor, you can get something pretty interesting looking. Or, depending on the colors you add to leather armor, you can get something pretty disgusting looking. It's all up to you. Fun fact about leather armor, when you're crafting it, did you know you can put more than one dye in at a time to just basically like skip a bunch of steps? So leather armor, that went ahead and made a set of leather armor, we could say. Over here inside of the smithing table, it is now possible to do something that was completely impossible in the last snapshot, and that is add armor trim to leather armor. So check this out. When we add armor trim to the leather armor, the color stays, but I don't know if it's just me or what, but it looks like it looks strange. I guess maybe like this is the point of it and just how it's gonna look, but armor trim on leather armor now. This is really the armor update that is like, this is insane. Somebody do the math for me. The amount of combinations that you can make now, considering the fact that we have the 11 different trims, the 10 different color options, the like infinite colors that you can turn leather armor into. This is, it's off the charts. I'm just speechless for this one. I'm literally speechless. I don't even know how to make a sentence. We're almost near the end of the snapshot video, which means if you haven't subscribed and turned notifications on, you're missing out. You're gonna have to do that. Also, remember to drop a like. That help out big time. So in this week's snapshot, we have quite a few bug fixes when it comes to the frog and the camel. When the frog was taking damage, it wasn't doing the walking animation, for example. Now it's definitely walking. Leading up to the release of this week's snapshot, over on the bug tracker, there was a big dump of like a bunch of bug fixes, mainly involving frogs and camels, but not only. Finally today, last and definitely not least, we have a change to the whole netherite upgrading thing again. Now this whole netherite upgrade system, it's kind of controversial. I don't know what your take is on this whole new netherite upgrade system, but basically, in this week's snapshot, it's gotten a little bit easier. Essentially, we're looking at a change when it comes to the rarity of the netherite upgrade smithing template item. This smithing template item should be twice as common now. And that's actually where I want to leave it at today. What do you guys think of the new way of making netherite armor? Do you like it, or do you think it's unnecessarily difficult? Let me know your take down below. Minecraft Snapshot 23w05a. That's just about everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen it yet, check out the Armor Trim Everything episode. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.